Okay.
This is the dumpster computer thing.
I'm a jigger. Doesn't do anything. What does it do?
Let's take her apart. There's nothing happening inside it. Even if I flip the switch really fast.
That's a slot.
This is a This isn't actually a computer, though. What the fuck?
But it has Windows logo on it.
Yes, this is an older processor, and it doesn't. It has less pins in the socket. This is a. Oh my! This is actually a fucking computer. There's the AT keyboard port. This is old as fuck. They probably retired it because it broke, and they're fucking sick of it.
For an ATM.
Look at this. Look, there's one PCI slot.
What is this card?
So these are serial ports. Oh. Well, what are they labeled? Sync, config, ramped, alarm, and I guess these all connect to these fucking. Oh, this is weird. This is some cool power supply shit. I'm keeping this motherboard though. This is probably really practical. Oh, this is crazy.
Why does it have less pins in the socket though?
Wait, where's the motherboard's power in? That could be a very. If this motherboard does not have a standard power, how am I going to power it? Look at this. It's got. Yes, it's standard. It's fucking standard though. I could power this computer up. Okay, we are going to power this fucking computer up. I've got power supplies that can power this. I'm pretty sure. This is an AT power supply.
Cool.
Let's see if it goes boof. No, but the fan's also not running. Alright. Fuck. I don't understand. I plugged you in. Oh, but this isn't an AT power supply, so I'd... Fuck. It's really crazy how these cards are woven together here. They're all linked. And this one's actually only an 8-bit card. What are these? What? I really want to know too. Oh man. What the fuck is that thing? It looks like a transistor in an old style package, but it's got way too many fucking pins. Give me a second here. I'm giving it a little inspection of all the parts here. Oh, fuck. Oh, this is strange. Come on. Oh, it has 40 kilobytes of RAM. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, wee. Wow. That's really fucking cool. This case got to go though. It has no IR ports or anything. Wait, actually, can I... What?
Doesn't have anything on it.
Yeah. And this power supply apparently started working again. This is a dead power supply from a 5155.
Cool.
Jesus Christ.
That's a big...
I know. What the... 450 volts. It's only 560 microfarad.
Could you blow it by plugging it into a wall?
Oh fuck yeah! But it feels like it has a release point, so it won't be too spectacular. This must be a big ass fucking relay. So many fucking like transistors on here. It looks like massively heat sinked on a very nice heat sink too. Big relay here. I think. This is an interesting thing. Hey! Why are these this is like fucking 10 years... What the fuck? It has a connector that shouldn't have existed for like 15 years.
What the fuck?
This is graphics card power connector.
What the fuck?
A 486 that has this kind of plug in it. And this is what would later be the USB header thing. I gotta find some date codes. This ain't right. Well, did they use a really old motherboard and something semi-modern? Oh my god, these are brittle. Just this fucking exploded from the heat it's been exposed to. The plastic's been just baked in here. And it's got a fan on it. This must have put out some serious fucking heat. I don't know what it did, but it's gonna be a nice scrap board, but fuck. So brittle. Oh my god. Oh. 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 This one ain't as bad. Oh, no, as soon as I said that it broke, but look at that. Oh. So I figured out why I see the old with the new. These transistors seem kind of badass, and I looked up their part number and found a datasheet on it, and the datasheet's dated January 2002. So these things are a bit more modern, which would explain why I see connectors that shouldn't have existed back in these days. Kind of crazy they're repurposing hardware that old. Alright. I definitely see what's wrong here, but I could have swore I saw something else bad in here. But that got fucking hot. The damn lead blew in half. The traces blew up on the board. It melted the top layer of the PCB completely off. Both sides. Holy fucking shit. Look at... Oh, something blew up here. Yep. Oh, man, this failed multiple places. I bet it smelled spectacular when this thing died. Oh, my God. Overload. I bet you that this thing just started drifting and shorting out. Well, actually, this ain't burnt up, though. But it's still, I bet its value dropped and it just started pouring way too much heat through here and it just escalated from there. Oh, my fucking God. These are by far the best probe connectors I've ever seen, as I can clip on them perfectly at my oscilloscope probe thingy. It's a lot easier when you're holding it, but that is the most secure, perfect connection I've ever had on a probe. This is legit. Oh my God. I can connect this in here. Big ass ground connection. That was meant to be. That's legit. Nice service panel. Really nice job. Whoever built this, they did that is great. I mean, that is fucking fantastic. This was made to be serviced. I don't know what it is still. Oh, hey, there's a date. Okay. And actually, I think it says 1993. Kind of hard to read, but I think this says 1993. So maybe that's just when that data sheet was made. This part might be a bit older. Now, 1993, the motherboard would actually be error correct then. So I still don't know what this is. So if anybody on you little YouTubes, like all 6 people watching this video, if you know what this is, I would really like to know. Also, I could totally repair this thing if I wanted to, but since I don't know what it is, I don't give a fuck. I'm taking what I want and I'm running for the hills. I'm gonna have fun with that little computer though, and this video's not over. Hey guys, like my sci-fi computer? This is all hooked up to one machine, clearly. Yeah, let's make it look more legit. Flip some switches and fucking turn on the scope for no reason and power this up. Then press Control Alt Delete. Then become very angry, like. You then wonder why there's. Okay, now I have a trace. Hey, you know what's really cool about this BIOS though? This is the best American Megatrons BIOS ever. Simply because you can do this. That's my favorite BIOS color scheme. Alright, we're gonna fucking... I cannot get this computer to detect hard drive or floppy drive off of internal controller. My theory is maybe one of these jumpers are jumped wrong. I've actually tried resetting the BIOS even. There's a lot of jumpers on here. I intended on doing a review of this thing like before Christmas, but I never did. Because I got it new for new old stock for like $5 or something. But I ended up never doing one because it was pretty fucking lame. I know, I wanted to try it out on a couple of computers, but yeah. I just know I was hoping to get 4 floppies in the same computer, but I still stuck with 2. The BIOS settings carried to this thing, but maybe that means it'll actually work. So let's give her a go. It's so new old stock. I have the papers for it twice. With the copyright date of 1998. That's what a shiny, almost never used card looks like. Look at the traces on the contacts. The camera's being really stupid about focusing today. But yeah. So weird seeing something so old that looks so unused. It doesn't want to go past that screen, but we have hard drive detection. This is a 10 gigabyte hard drive, so it might be too big for this computer. But yeah, new old stock cables too. Ooh. They still smell like cheap plastic. Primary hard drive fail. Okay. Let's see if we can boot up them floppy. So, this thing's pretty close to being a functional computer then. It just needs an external hard drive controller, which I have. I don't think I have a hard drive that's of this form factor under 10 gigs, so... Actually, now I think about the limitation might not even need a motherboard. I remember this thing having a hard drive size limit, something small, if I can find it. The hard drive controller provides support for 2 IDE hard drives with capacities up to 528 megabytes. I've got a 600 megabyte hard drive I could throw in here. If I used an adapter, I don't know where it's at, because it's a laptop drive. Get your ass in there. This keyboard's seen better days. Oh, I can see a ripple in there. And we'll let some loading happen. I lubricated everything in this drive, and then it got really quiet, but then the disc wouldn't also turn, so I had to take rubbing alcohol and put it on my shirt and let the belt rub up against it and clean the 2 metal pieces off so there's no oil in that because it got on that. But now it's really quiet. Hopefully, I didn't like the scraping sound, but I liked the dirt. But I wanted the thing to last a long time, so I figured lubrication's probably a good idea because it works with everything else. Now let's go see what AC is. Ooh, this is a very low resolution. That's not good. Good thing I got backups of all these discs. Oh man, so much CPU power. That gives me an idea how fast I'm going. Oh, that's so fast. I'm used to this on the 8088 CPU, so this is really zipping along here. Normally I'm seeing like oh, it's so fast. Oh, it's so fucking fast. But I can actually see it. I've tried this on a Pentium 3 and it's just a fucking blur. But this CPU is slow enough to get the job done. What's super? Superposition theorem calculates the current branch of a multi-source DC resistive circuit. Hey, you know, if anybody says they want my floppy disk image collection, I'll like upload it to Google Drive and put it in the video description, but it's only upon request. Nobody wants it, why would I put the effort in? Yeah, this is these are we're going through here my Software Labs electronics, hands-on electronics trainer, but we're on electronics tutorial disc number 2 right now. Which honestly, if you don't know this shit, this would be a very nice thing to have. You could really learn some shit. But all this was covered in high school for me, so. And you shouldn't get these actual errors. I don't know if it's the drive or the disk. It's probably the disk, but a lot of my floppy disks are on the way out, but I backed all of them up. And I think I'm pretty sure both these disks I got backed up with no errors, and this one I got backed up with some errors, but everything seems to function on them on the backup, so if you want them. Also, let's see, how warm is this? It's a tad bit warm. I'd say like 120 degrees. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna have to find somewhere to put this thing till I can find a little case for it. I really want to build the smallest possible computer out of this. Something that's like, you know, like maybe room for a power supply and a couple of drives. But yeah. So, I could not get the internal hard drive controller to work, but my external one worked fucking great. Now I'm really glad I have it. Also, this is my PC speaker. And in case you're interested, I just used a sewing machine oil I found dumpster diving. I imagine any oil would probably work. I mean, you'd probably want something on the thinner side for a floppy disk. I wouldn't use like some thick, super viscous shit, and I definitely wouldn't use like semi-truck mounting grease or something like that. Yeah, I'd probably lock the fucker up, but yeah, you know, something I really want to get at my Aunt Linda seems to be all about is that Marvel red oil shit. She claims that's the best fucking shit ever, and I did manage to get a rusted out pipe wrench and a couple of other adjustable wrenches that are just completely locked up to move that shit. It took some work, but yeah, so it does work, and I would like to get a bottle of it.